Live from WTEN, this is News 10 at 4 on the news station.
Welcome to News 10 at 4. I'm Elisa Streeter.
I'm Lydia Colbita. Body shops may be busy after today after a number of fender benders and traffic problems from this morning's snowstorm. Traffic reduced to a crawl for the commute, and most schools closed for the day as nearly 8 inches came down this morning. We'll go live to Albany to see how the cleanup is going.
The governor says we're not paying enough attention to the problems with the economy. Governor Paterson says ethics reform and even the corruption trial of Joe Bruno have overshadowed the state's financial troubles, and he says the state's going broke.
The public option is out. A coalition of Senate Democrats came up with a compromise health plan that takes out the controversial public option, and President Obama says he will back it.
And you run in for a coffee and a fill-up, but did you ever think about what it would be like to work at the Stewart's on your corner? We're going to show you exactly what it's like in today's Annie on the Job. First, though, our top story, the fallout from all the snow that fell this morning.
If you were one of the people who had to drive in it this morning, you know it was pretty bad for a while. News 10's Mark O'Brien has been monitoring the problems caused by this storm for us all day, and he is live now in Albany to show us how it's going. Mark?
Well, Lydia, the good news is the drive home from work is nowhere near what the drive to work was like earlier this morning. I'll step out of the way. We're standing along Northern Boulevard at the junction with Route 9, and you can see the entire roadway is clear of snow except for a patch or two in the center. But all the driving lanes are clear, and in fact, the only hint of snow is along the shoulder. But as we mentioned, it's nowhere near like what we saw earlier today. In fact, I want to show you some of what we saw out on the roads this morning. We saw a number of cars who had run off the side of the road, also cars who had run into each other. All told, there were several dozen accidents across the capital region, and those were the only ones that we saw. There were, of course, plenty others that we probably didn't catch up with. The good news is, though, as we mentioned, all the major highways, including the Northway, the Thruway, Route 9, and some of the other major highways throughout the capital region, look to be pretty good, and we haven't been hearing any reports of any major accidents, at least on the scale of what we heard this morning. Needless to say, though, what we saw today certainly left some people a little unsettled.
I don't think it's the worst I've ever seen, but it's not good. You know, I'm gonna get home and plant myself.
The guardrail, we missed it by this much. We did a complete 360 and missed it by this much.
I'm a senior citizen. You've got to do it a little bit at a time. I rested, I came out and did it again.
Now, that's 74-year-old Jean Parker of Latham, who spent a good 6 or 7 hours today shoveling her own driveway and cleaning off her car. Coming up tonight on News 10 at 5 and 6, why doctors say be careful when you go out to do the kind of job Ms. Parker is doing if you haven't already. And back live here in Albany, as we said, probably doesn't need to be much more shoveling left because the roadways are pretty clear. It's interesting to note that the hospitals said that they did not see as many injuries as they normally do. We'll go into that coming up tonight on News 10 at 5 and 6 as well. For now, we're live in Albany. Mark O'Brien, News 10.
Thank you, Mark. Now, the timing of the winter storm smack during the morning commute meant hundreds of schools across the capital region were closed today. And of course, thousands of children took advantage of a day out of the classroom to play in the snow. We caught up with some kids over at Lincoln Park in Albany who couldn't wait to get on their boots, hats, snow pants, gloves, and take a slide down the hills. Parents say they and their kids never thought they'd have to wait until December for this big snowfall.
Yeah, my son woke up at dawn this morning, put on his snow gear, and went and shoveled the walk. So he's been out all day.
I went to Abus's house to pick him up, and then we went to Bahia, and then we started doing this.
Some parents had to put off work for the day to take care of the kids, but say they were grateful for the family time. Look at that little one. Too cute.
Yeah.
Happy in the snow. Oh, here comes everybody all together.
The big group.
Whee! You know, my kids have been doing, what's the thing? You're supposed to do the chicken dance in front of the refrigerator for a snow day. They've been doing that since November.
And put a spoon under their
Pillows,
My
right,
daughter
and
is
wear
spoon
pajamas
under
inside out.
Inside out.
Yeah.
Well, this storm is winding down, which is great news. And as Mark showed us, the roads are in awesome shape considering what happened this morning. You know, temperatures get above freezing, so that was perfect timing for us for the afternoon commute. Let's show you the radar. Not much going on right now. Just a little bit of light drizzle here and some spotty light snow or mixed precip up through Saratoga Springs and just west of Lake George. That's it, though. The storm is essentially winding down. Now, Got to show you the snowfall accumulations, and we'll be updating this as we go through the next couple of hours. 7 to 8 inches around Albany, brought Albany 10 inches, Indian Lake 11, about 9 inches at Glens Falls, 8 to 9 inches Pittsfield to Hinsdale in the Berkshires, 7 inches in Richmondville. Here's a close-up view. Thanks to all the spotters for your great work again. Altamont 8, Preston Hollow, Westerlo area close to 10, Delanson 10, Clifton Park 8 inches, Savoy in the northern Berkshires 9, Woodford in southern Vermont in the mountains 13, Chatham 6, and South Carroll 8. Winds were a huge issue in western New England. We talked about this last night, some tree damage in Bennington. The winds gusted to 59 miles per hour today from the southeast. Rutland, which obviously is a little bit farther north than it appears on this map, I wanted to squeeze it in for you, 52. North Adams, a wind gust of 53 miles per hour in Pittsfield at 30. So our forecast, be careful for slush and slippery spots tonight. Not much going on, 29. Snow flurries, windy on Thursday, 34, and the same thing Friday, even colder, windy. Snow showers, maybe some heavier lake effect to the west of Albany, and a high temperature of only 26. We'll have much more on the forecast coming up later in the newscast.
Thanks, Steve. Governor Paterson is asking Wall Street bigwigs to help him convince state lawmakers that New York is about to go broke. The governor spoke to a group of money people and civic leaders in Lower Manhattan today, once again warning that by the end of the month, New York's cash drawer could be empty for the first time ever. Paterson said state lawmakers do not seem to understand the gravity of the situation, evidenced by their inability to plug even the current $3.2 billion deficit.
They cut $2.7 billion, $500 million short of even what they recognized was the budget deficit. By the way, the comptroller believes that it's $4 billion. So that would bring the legislature $1.5 billion short of his projection.
Coming up at 5 o'clock, the governor says New York lawmakers have a choice like a parent who has to decide whether to buy Christmas presents for the kids or pay the rent.
A deal negotiated by Senate Democrats to drop the controversial government-run public insurance option from its health care bill is winning praise from President Obama, but drawing opposition from key interest groups. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid said negotiators reached a broad agreement on a package of provisions to replace the controversial public option portion of the Senate's sweeping health care bill. The American Medical Association and American Hospital Association both oppose one part of the package that would allow people 55 and older to buy into the Medicare program for senior citizens.
Well, the holidays can be wonderful, but they can also do a number on your bank account.
Help is here. We will show you how to stick to your budget so you have some money left over for the new year.
They're the most fascinating people of the year, and Barbara Walters is counting them down tonight. A preview of the big show still ahead.
Plus, you know they're on just about every corner, but do you know what it takes to stock and keep a Stewart's running? Our Annie Scholz does now. It is her on the job today.
And we're back in just 1 minute with those stories here on News 10 at 4.